Tiara Amalia, and here I will explain the history of Latin America. Latin America is a region located in the south of the Americas, whereas this area is a former colony of Portugal and Spain. The term Latin refers to part of the Americas, so that it becomes Latin America, which is now commonly used, is actually a contribution by French writers in the 19th century as a way to increase the leadership of the French people over the Catholic world and Latin against linguistic groups. Latin America is generally understood to consist of the entire continent of South America, in addition to Mexico, Central America, and the island of the Caribbean, whose inhabitants speak a Romance language. The people of this large area shared the experience of the conquest and colonization by the Spaniards and Portuguese from the late 15th through the 18th century, as well as the movement of independence from Spain and Portugal in the early 19th century. Even since independence, many of the various nations have experienced similar trends, and they have some awareness of the common heritage. However, there are also enormous differences between them. Not only do the people live in a large number of the independent units, but the geography and the climate of their countries vary immensely. The inhabitants' social and cultural characteristics differ according to the constitution of the occupant. Before the Iberian conquest, the timing and the nature of the European occupation, and their varying material, endowment, and economic roles.
My name is Siti Salsabila. I will explain about actors in regionalism Latin of America, especially state actors. Latin America needs some form of a cooperation regional as a connecting bridge between countries in the region. As one of the countries in Latin America, Brazil, that's a developing country, it needs a change in the system of economy. In that context, then economic liberalization is a way to implement form economic cooperation, both bilaterally and multilateral cooperation with developed countries in Latin America to become solution for developing countries in increasing economic capability. They can arrange more flexible regulation that can be regulated together, such as tariffs for an item. They believe that with fewer members, the security of the country will be more guaranteed. There is easier and faster access for one country to access another country's market, as well as other countries in Latin America. They cooperate. Here are the countries in Latin America, including Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. They are members of several regional organizations that will be discussed by Syahira Kesuma.
I want to describe about several region organizations in Latin America. Number one is Free Trade Area of the Americas, or FTAA. The FTAA is a free trade plan that represents the largest and most powerful economic bloc in the world. The ongoing negotiation in the FTAA cover various issues such as issues of investment, service, market access, labor, environment, disputes, intellectual property, agriculture, and subsidies, anti-dumping, and countervailing measures. Number 2 is Alternativa Bolivariana para las Americas, or ALBA. ALBA is an organization that exists to respond to the FTAA, which is dominated by the United States, and to build solidarity in a more independent Latin America region. Number 3 is Comunidad Andina, or CAN. CAN formerly founded to encourage industrial, agricultural, social, and trade cooperation. Number 4 is Mercado Común del Sur, or MECOSUR. Mercosur is regional trading bloc in the Latin America region, which has 5 member countries, namely Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Venezuela, which aims to facilitate the movement of capital, goods, and service between members and economic sector, which will have an impact on regional prosperity.
Hello everyone, I'm Sofia Hartin, and today I will explain the social cultural situations and political economy in Latin America. Due to the long colonizations of Spain and Portugal, the cultural influence of the two countries is still great in Latin America. In general, Latin America has not experienced a cultural revolution in the sense of revolutionary replacing Iberian cultural patterns and principles with the national cultural patterns and joins. The penetrations of the Western European culture beside the Spain and the Portugal, the United States was only fell after World War II as a result of participations of the almost all Latin America on the Allied side against the Axis power of Germany, Italy, and Japan. Next, politics and economy. Under the pressure of the economic crisis, Latin America countries made changes to their economic structure. A new wave of PT, as known as New Upper Regionalism. Its main feature and objects include strengthening changes in economic structure through the creation of the capable strategic policy. B. Economic transformations that ensure new opportunities for the export experience and diversifications as a stepping stone strategy for a more effective global economy. C. Action from foreign indirect investment through the creation of free market policy with the location advantage. And the last, establishment of regionalism, functional cooperation following Western Europe, and finally the geopolitical times, establishment of the state security and promote arms reductions and peace between neighboring countries while increasing bargaining power in the national level. Based on previous analysis from the economic regionalism, it can be concluded that the integrations of the Latin America region has reached level 3, namely common market, which is the next step of the custom union by adding free movement of the capital and labor among member countries. The result of the common market creates the emergence of the trade diversions and trade creations. That's all. Thank you for watching.
The current issue in Latin America is lower economic growth compounded by strong inflationary pressure, little dynamism in job creation, declining investment and growing social demand. The war in Ukraine, higher inflation, tighter financial conditions, economic declaration of key trading partners, and social discontent may dim growth prospects. The war in Ukraine is shaking the global economy and raising uncertainty about the outlook for Latin America and the Caribbean. The impact is being felt in Latin America through higher inflation that is affecting real incomes, especially of the most vulnerable. Policymakers are reacting to this challenge by tightening monetary policy and implementing measures to soften the blow on the most vulnerable and contain the risks of social unrest.